So the daily video devotional today is looking at verse 4 in John chapter 1. And verse 4 says, "In him, Jesus, was life, and that life was the light of men." And pretty clear that Jesus, not only the creator we saw in the previous verse, but the very source of life. In fact, Jesus said later in the Gospel of John, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." And it makes sense that we would find our source in a living being, because life only comes from life. Even scientifically, we know that abiogenesis, or spontaneous generation, was a myth disproven hundreds of years ago. That somehow people at one time believed that non-living matter could give rise to living matter. And of course we know that's false. The foundational principle of biology is biogenesis, that life always finds its origin in existing life. And yet, with that being said, again, we have people and scientists, these guys, I guess because they wear a lab jacket and a pocket protector, we're supposed to think that they are always going to tell the truth. But these people that would say that, life just began out of lifeless matter in a cold, dark universe. And I say, well, we've never observed that. In fact, we've proven it to be a false premise upon Earth. And yet you say that it must have happened. And that's just so strange to me that in their quest to distance themselves from the possibility of there being a God to whom they might be held accountable, that they're willing to go to such lengths to say that life could begin out of lifeless matter. When even if you were to combine all the intellectual abilities of all the scientists on planet Earth with their combined intellect and abilities, they cannot create a single living organism, a self-replicating organism that's alive as we would define a living organism in biology. And so what they're unable to do with all of their combined intelligence, they're expecting us to believe could happen without any intelligence behind it, just by accident. Life from non-living matter. Again, I do not have sufficient faith to believe in such a fairy tale. I'm sorry that there are so many people who are ready and willing to believe that. But I think there's a deeper issue at hand there. I think it has something to do with maybe being afraid of facing the reality of God. That's a problem, because He's good, and in Him is life. And from that life we find our source, and we'll get into that tomorrow. Thanks.